So who has been able to open the data? Please open the data. Make sure the data is on the global environment and you can view it. Let me know anyone with a challenge up to this point. I have been able to open the data. Yes, continue telling me if you have opened the data. Okay, I see. So, yeah, so remember we were writing yesterday, we wrote a hashtag and we're saying viewing the structure of the data, and we did this yesterday. I would like you to repeat this so that we are on the same page. So can you write a hashtag and say, put a comment, for example, viewing the structure of the data, viewing structure of the data. And we say the command to review, to do that is you write str, and then, so I can rewrite it, you just write str, you put a bracket, and you write the name of the data set, which is synthetic depression, and it will suggest for you the data set. And you can run R. You don't have to highlight, by the way. I was just saying you can highlight for beginners, but anytime your cursor is anywhere on that row and you click run, you will be able to see so you can be able to see an output at the bottom, which is on the console. It's giving you the structure of the data. It's giving you some information about which variables. For example, it is talking about employment being character, stress being a character, things like that. But time 1, time 2, time 3 are column double. So those are double, means it is a numeric variable. So let me know who has done that. Who can tell me? Sorry?
Sorry, I've not been able to load the data set.
You've not been able to load the data set?
Yes.
Do you know where your data set is?
Yes, I downloaded it into a folder.
Can you check where do you know? So you have you been able to see it even without R?
No, when I try to load a new file, I cannot be able to do that. It doesn't give me. It just gives me the encrypted folder. What we call the zipped folder.
No, now you have to go. You have to go to your computer.
Yes.
Just leave a load R, but you must know, first of all, for us to proceed, you have to know where your CSV file is. Even without R, you have to go to your folders and check where your file is. So because today, before we proceed, we must know where our files are. Day 1.
Yes.
We are still in day 1.
Yes, I do know where it is.
So can you open day 1 and check data sets?
I downloaded that. Sorry, I have all the data sets. But
do you see a CSV file called synthetic depression missing data?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So open your RStudio.
Okay.
That's what we have said. You open your RStudio, click on File,
Right.
Import data set.
Okay.
And I said that this is the data we are importing is a readr. It's an CSV file. So we are going to use the second command pattern here, which is saying from text in bracket readr.
Okay.
That command is then it will give us an interface. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And you click browse.
Okay.
Top right, and that is the point you locate in your computer where your synthetic depression missing data is.
Okay.
You highlight it. Can you highlight it?
Yeah, button that.
You done that? Yeah.
Yes.
Then
And
you click
import.
open. Click open.
Okay. I'm there. I can see the data.
And see the data. And then
Yes.
you say import. You click import. You can click import. You can copy that code and keep it, but you can click import that.
Okay, I've done that. I can now see the data set.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
So yeah, please don't zip the files. Make sure the files are unzipped. And then now I said you can write the word structure. STR is just to view the structure of the data. But I want us to do another activity called attaching. This is just a small activity. The command attach is if you attach a data set. The good thing with attaching a data set is that it reduces the number of times you have to type the name of the data set. When you are doing long programming work, you will find that sometimes you're going to write a lot of program, a long statement, a long program. So to reduce the amount of times you have to remember to write the data set name, you can use this command attach, and you attach the data set. So when you attach, it will help us to reduce. So sometimes we don't have to remember the dataset name, but we can actually use the $sign to show the variables without writing the dataset name. I'm not saying it will happen all the time, but it reduces the number of times we do that. So what I want us to go to our R script and let us put a hashtag and then write attaching the data set. Put that command there and then write the word attach and then type the dataset name there, synthetic dataset, and then you run. When you run, it's going to attach. So you may not see what it is attached. You may not see anything, but you'll probably see a blue output down there that the dataset has been attached. And if anybody has done it, please just make a comment that you've done it. And now we want to go to slide number 39. If you have the PowerPoint, we are going to try and view class of the class. So, or we want to view specific variables. So I want you to go to hashtag and then saying viewing the class and structure of specific variables. So we want to see how can we view. We looked at the structure of the entire data set. But this time we want to look at the structure of one variable at a time. So you start by typing the data set name, and then you hit the $. And we can always look at, I want you to look at the sex variable. I want to look at the structure of sex variable. So when you hit the $, pick sex. So I want you to run structure of sex and see what you get. So it's basically going to give you a long So what do you see? You can see it's giving you the structure. Sorry. Giving you the structure. So it's telling you that it has got 1 to 10,000 records, and it has picked some of the rows, and it's telling you that the data is coded as male, female, male, male, not applicable, and it's giving you that these are actually characters. You can see the output is saying CHR. CHR means characters from 1 to 10,000 records. It's written male, female, male, not applicable, male, female. So that is just how to view the structure. I can see if you have, if you've done it, then I want you to type the word class. Let us also check the class of the sex variable. So you type the data set name first, and then you put sex. That is how we pick variables. So put the name of the data set, because R can actually have several, sorry. I want, what is the class? What is the result you have received? What is the class? Why attach after importing? Can't we work with imported data directly? So Isaac, the idea of attaching does not mean, it's not the same as importing. Attaching a data set is just to allow that data set to be used, the name of the data set to be used less in the programming. So attaching and importing are different things. Attaching is just when you're going to fit in regression, you're going to fit in some complex analysis, you may want to reduce the coding processes. Yeah, it is character, so that's correct. Can we try class of another variable? Can you pick any variable? I want you to pick any variable and tell me the class of that variable. Pick any variable, whether it's income, employment, stress. Maybe let's try stress 1, stress at time 1, stress T1. Can you run that and tell me the class of that variable? Class of stress?
Character.
Character. So class is a character. What about age? Can you try age? What is the class of age? Is it a number? Is it a character? Is it a date variable? What is?
Numeric.
Numeric. Excellent. So stress age is numeric. And if it is numeric, it allows for some statistics to be done. So that is just how to check. Sometimes before you do analysis, it's better to check the kind of data you are having. Because if you have a numeric data, it has some statistics you can run. For example, you can write the mean, the median, the standard deviations. But if you have a character, the only thing you can do with a character is percentages. You run the percentages, and probably some analysis can only work with character. But characters, they are not the best. If you have a way of having numeric codes and you attach a label, that is a better way of preparing your data. So now I want us to write another hashtag. Now we want to view the first, let's say we want to view how to view
Excuse me.
Sorry?
Yes, I wanted to ask regarding the attach. You say that attach helps us to, so we are trying to use the name of the data set less. So would that mean that if I use attach, I can run a command, for example, class, and then just say class 6 without specifying the name of the data set? Would that work the same way?
It will work mostly for, I'll show you, it will work especially when we are going to write long codes, when you are going to write regressions, and you'll see that we are going to we are going to avoid writing the dataset name, especially if we have attached it. The model will allow us to just specify the variable without naming the dataset. For these ones which are straightforward like these ones, we will still use the dataset name. So for now, we will have to write the dataset name, because if you try to write a variable without a dataset name at this point, but you will see the value of attaching as we progress with the modeling work. Okay, so can we view a portion of the data? I want you to just view, so just write view the first, just say view view a few records of the data. So hashtag, we want to view a few records. So just say, what do we do? We can write head. The command head allows us to just view a few records, the first few records of the 10,000. Remember, we have 10,000 records. And when we say head, it's just, I want to see a few records. So just type head and put the dataset name, and tell me how many records you're able to see. How many records are you seeing? First 10, first 20, first?
I was able to see 6. The first 6 record.
Okay, so you are able to see the first 6 records. So that is correct. So the head command, you can view the first 6. What about the command tail, like the tail of the data set?
The command tail, I was able to see the last 6 also.
Excellent. So you are able to see the last 6 records. So sometimes you just want to see, you don't want to run the entire, because there's a huge data set. You may just say head of the data set, you see the first 6 records, and the tail of the data set, you see the last 6 records. Now, who has done that? Let me see. 6, good. So, okay. So the tail will display a few. Okay. So we want to close this PowerPoint. And I want us to go to the next PowerPoint, which is for day 1.
So please, before we go ahead, I want to ask a question. What if you want to specify a certain number that you would want to see?
Thank you. That's the question.
Sorry?
Let's say I want to see the first 200 or the first 300 records.
Okay. So, okay. So yeah. As I answer that, can you open the next PowerPoint so that I show you something?
Which of the PowerPoint, sir?
PowerPoint are we opening now?
Do you mean the data wrangling PowerPoint?
Yeah, the data wrangling PowerPoint is where we are going. But somebody saying, let's view, somebody wants to view the first. You wanted to view how many?
Let's say we want to view like 100 or 120.
Will it fit your
or
screen?
50.
Let's just say that's a lot. So
let's say we want to view 20.
Maybe 10, yeah. Say view the view the first 10 records. So we just say head. Or we can even use these commands. The same command is written. We can actually put comma. Like you can say, oh, you can put a comma and just write 10. So how many will you see?
Yes, I can see 10 now.
Yeah, you just say 10 or 20. And one thing I can tell you about R is very good when you are, anytime you are stuck, shortcut to run, click Control Enter. I think, thanks Enoch. Enoch has given you, so when you want to run a procedure and you don't want to highlight and run, you can just put a cursor somewhere and say, Control, and you press Enter. It also runs the code. Okay, so I want you to open the data set called the PowerPoint called data wrangling. And I want us to proceed with the wrangling or cleaning or reorganizing this data. Remember, I told you yesterday that we have put some errors in the data. Those errors showed. I want us today to try and work with variables. We want to transform a continuous variable to categorical variable. What we mean by a continuous variable, this is a variable like a variable which can take a decimal point. Like if you have age of participants, which can be written in a decimal point, they don't have, you can write it as a decimal. That number can be called continuous variable. But sometimes you have a categorical variable that is category. We need to mute somebody. And then add new variables to the data frame. For example, how do we add a new column in the data? For example, you want to create a new column, what we call a new variable. And a variable in a data set is an entity that changes. So a variable is just a new column, is a new question or a new field, which was not there. And you can add a new column and feed the data into that new column. How do we handle missing data? Remember, in the data set we are calling missing, we have deliberately put some missing values. And we are going to see how we can solve that problem. Then we want to learn about subsetting the data sets. Subsetting is what we are saying. What about if I want to separate the first 100 records and give it a name. The last 100 records, I want to give it a name. Let's say you have a data set which were collected in two phases, at baseline and at end line, and you want to separate the baseline data. How do we do that? And you want to give it another name, or you want to create the end line data. You want to remove it from the main data set and give it another name. We call that one subsetting. Or you want to split, for example, you have a data set which has got 20 variables, and you want to have the first 10 columns in one data set and the last 10 columns in another data set, assuming that the two data sets have got a unique identifier. So that takes us to appending. What is appending? What is the difference between appending data sets and merging data sets? So we are going to talk about it, where appending means putting one data on top of another one, assuming that these data sets are the same. You may collect data from different hospitals. Maybe you collected data in hospital A and hospital B and hospital C, and you want to put them together. You want to make a long data set. We call it appending, But what people normally call merging is you put one data set, you combine it with another one. It might be that one data set has got different variables from the other one. Maybe you collected data in the field from households with unique IDs. And then you also had samples collected and processed in the lab. And in the lab, you have IDs of patients. So you want to combine the data in the lab from the lab with the data from the household. We call it merging, bringing two data sets together, data sets we have got from different sources, and they have a unique identity. For appending, just the same data set being combined to form a long one. So we will see. We have looked at how being the structure, so we don't want to repeat this. We have looked at the class. Now, I want us to check inconsistencies that the data has using just a way of running frequencies. So the command to run the frequency, there's a command called table that runs the number of records per category of a categorical variable. So that command table is going to help us to run frequency. Anytime you want to know how many people are male, how many people are female, you just use the command table. It doesn't give you the percentages, but it just gives you the absolute numbers. So we are going to look at how we can use it to check inconsistencies. So let us go to hashtag. I want you to write hashtag checking inconsistencies, and I want you to write using command table, and I want you to write table. Table is to generate a table, and then I want you to run a table of employment time 1, employment T1. And I want you to tell me where the inconsistency is.
We have typo errors and typographical error for employed. The first one has double E at first. So we have one double E employed, one typo error for employed, and we have two typo error for unemployed. So
Okay.
the other errors are confirmed.
Very good. Yeah, so we say table, just say table, synthetic data set, hit the $ to pick the variable. Was it employment? Or
Employment time 1.
Yeah. I'm using Control L to clear my, okay, so we see, so if somebody is saying there's inconsistency because, can you repeat what are you saying? You are saying there is employed, the number of employed people, 9420.
We have employed and unemployed. So there is typographical error for employed, which is only one time. So it's double E, employed. Then we also have typographical error for unemployed, which occurs only twice, which is
Yes.
also another double E.
Excellent. Yeah. So who else has seen the same thing?
Me.
I saw the same thing and I posted my stuff on the
Big
chat.
Eunice, I'm seeing Isaac.
Mine is also the same.
Yours is also the same.
Yes, nimepata.
Very
Yeah,
good.
mine
Found the
is the
same
same.
too.
Yeah. So before you analyze your data, please ensure that you check, this variable. Can you?
I have unmuted them.
Yeah. So now, we want now to see, how do we know what was supposed to be the correct? So let us put a hashtag and just saying view. Of course, some of you may just say, oh, I'm seeing the correct spelling here. And you can go ahead and correct, but sometimes you want to say view the inconsistent, variables. So I want us to use the view command to check. Can you look at slide number 6? Let me show you. So when we want to view, and I wanted to take you through how to put a condition in R. So once you say view, and you see view here is capital V. Once you say view and you put the dataset name, you put a bracket to put the condition. And I told you that the condition, the condition you want is put in a squared bracket. And somebody was saying yesterday that why do we put a comma before the squared bracket? I said is to make sure that we view everything. Of course, everything that is on the left-hand side. So if you look at what is in the squared bracket, you can see we need to put the error we want to view. So here you can see the dataset name is in the bracket. The employment is here. Employment is here, but we are now selecting. So we are now isolating. So we are going to use double equal sign. So we are saying view synthetic data on condition that employment is equivalent to unemployed. So you put the wrong name here. You put the spelling, which is wrong here. And then you put it in quotes because it is a string variable. Then you put this comma is to view everything, and then you close the bracket. So I want you to write that. So I can, yeah. So can we do that? So we are going to write here. If you are good enough, you can go ahead and write it. Let me also help you. So I have run my table and I've seen that, let's start with the employed. I will copy this. So view, view. So we are going to view synthetic data. Then I put a squared bracket and I put the condition. The condition is that the variable employment. So how do you write the variable? You put the data set name and you say the variable was called employment1. This is the data set. And then we want to say, we want to put double equal sign and say, we want to paste the wrong name. Then I put a comma there just to make sure that everything is displayed. So you can see my command here, view the data set, and then there's a squared bracket where I'm putting the condition of what I want. So I'm saying that the variable employment is equivalent to employed, so that I can see only the one with the wrong spelling. And if you click on that and you run, you should be able to see the record. So can somebody who has seen the record, so you can see you are confirming that it is one record with a problem. Can somebody tell me the patient ID of this person with the wrong? What is the patient ID of the person with the wrong employment? What is the patient ID?
3.
That
3.
patient number 3.
Yes.
Yeah, patient number 3 has got the problem here. On employment time 1, it was a typo. So I want us now to make appropriate changes. So we go back to our script. So I want us to put a hashtag. Every time you want to do something, please put as many comments. The more your command is green, the more I see your green colors. The more I see more comments on green, then you become a very good programmer. What it means that you are able to document every step. And you can always use your comments to remember what you did. For example, now I want to write a hashtag and say, make the, or I can say correct, or what do I say? Make correction to typo on. Write something you like to remember on employment variable, on employment T1 variable. Write something to remember what you want to do. So I want us to change, I want us to now to make the change. So making the change, we are going to use more or less the same command. We are going to more or less the similar command. However, we are going to write the variable that we want to change first. This variable here. So for us to write the variable, we are going to type the dataset name. The variable we want to change is employment T1. So this is the variable we want to change, is T1. So you write it here. This is what we want to change. And then what is the condition? So we put a squared bracket. We put the condition. So what is the condition? The condition is that the old variable, so I have to put the variable name. You can see how many times you have to write the dataset name. So this is just the variable name. The condition is that the old variable was an employed. Actually, I can copy this one. Inside the squared bracket, I'm putting a condition that the variable employment, if it was equivalent to employed, that means this is the wrong spelling. Then outside the squared bracket, squared bracket, you now assign it to the correct name. So what is the correct name? It will be called employed. So I go to my console here, and I look for the correct spelling. And then I put the correct thing. So this is the variable. So this is the command that will change if this condition is met. If the employment is coded as employed, wrongly spelled, it will assign it to employed. And it is going to assign the variable that is outside the bracket here. What we put outside the bracket is going to change to employed based on the condition that is in the squared bracket. So I want you to do that. Make sure that the spelling is correct. If it is capital, whatever, and because we are putting quotes, we are saying that those are characters. And what is on the outside the bracket must be the correct name you want to assign it. And then you run. I'm seeing errors. Where is the error coming from? Error in exists. Zero length variable. Who has done it?
I got an error message.
I'm also seeing an error message, though the error message is quite different from yours.
The error message is different from mine, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So the number of characters here. Sorry?
Mine what?
You
I'm still trying to figure out. Yeah, let's figure out the difference between mine and yours. Let me first look at it, then I'll communicate the difference.
Somebody is saying, let me see who has done it. Who has done it?
Me, I use that. But I'm using a phone and a PC because I can't share the screen or I can't send a code.
So what do you see here, which is the error? So our variable here is
Mine is not bringing an error message, but if I try to tabulate, it is still showing.
It is still showing
the other employed with a typo.
Yeah, because yeah. Oh, mine has done it. Can you, I don't know why, but can you try to do table? Can you run can you go back and run the table variable, can you run the variable again, table, and see, because mine now is bringing the correct answer. Although with the error, I don't know what the error is, but when I run the table, I still get the right answer.
Yeah, mine has worked actually.
Yours has worked.
Yeah,
So probably it is
I
just
typed
some.
exactly what you have.
Yeah, so so
Mine
if I
has
run,
worked too.
excellent. So now that can you now correct unemployed? Can you write a command to correct unemployed? So hashtag make correction to typo on unemployed, 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 unemployment to employment variable T1, employment variable T1. See, you just copy the same thing. You can copy this command. If I were you, you just change. What you change is just, if this one worked for you, you can copy it and paste and edit what is necessary. But for those of you who want to try write afresh, we say that the first thing, if you want to change a variable, you type the variable first. Type the variable first, then put a condition. Put the condition. What is the condition? The condition is that the synthetic variable, the variable employment, the variable employment is equivalent to, I put a bracket and then I look for the wrong spelling, which is having the two records. I come here and paste, and then I assign it to the correct thing. I assign it to the correct thing. And then you tabulate again, just to see, tabulate the variable and check whether it is correct. So then you run the two together. And I want you to tell me how many people are employed and how many people are not employed, if you did it correctly.
After the correction, we now have the employed number of people is 9428 and the unemployed is 572.
Excellent. Anybody else? Sorry, I'm not getting the output through my command.
I'm still getting an error.
Leave alone the error, just tabulate, just write the word
Even
table.
after tabulating, I'm still getting an error.
What is the error? Can you paste
Mine has
your,
worked very well, and
very
there is no
well.
error, and those are the numbers I have.
Can you paste your command here so that people can help you?
Hello?
Put it on the chat, yes.
Yeah, I think for people who are getting the error, I was getting the same. I think the problem is the last quotation mark is different. If you copy and paste from the PowerPoint, or you can just consider changing the last
Don't
quotation
please,
mark.
the quotation I have in my PowerPoint, just type your own quotes. Please don't copy paste from the PowerPoint. And if you want to be a good programmer, it's good to start writing yourself. Because you will have all these commands in the files, but try to write yours. Festus, can you paste your command? We see if you still have a problem. Paste on the chat, people can help you. Anybody with a problem, just.
Yeah, yes, I just pasted my error in the chat. It is a logical subscript, something to do with the size.
No, you and the table, if you run the tab table command.
There's no change yet to the inconsistency.
Can you paste your command if you have a problem?
I pasted it. Let me do it again.
Probably you're pasting to panelists only, we can't see.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, to panelist only. Okay.
I just pasted my command.
View. No, you are viewing. I don't know. You know, there's no command. This view is not what we are doing. Eh? The command, who is this? Kiza, Patrick. Patrick, there's a problem with your code. You are using the view command, and they ask we are not having view command here.
I have pasted my command.
Please, can you check the one from Nifarta?
Let me see.
Mary, you posted your error. Could you please post your command and we see?
Command. Don't paste the error. Paste the command. So the person I think
It was the command I posted. I pasted the command.
Your name is?
Nifarta. You will see NA there. Nifarta Andrew.
Nifarta, right?
Yes.
Nifarta, I see. Unemployed, which looks fine. Nikata, did you run the library as the library that we had, the packages?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Nikata, so let me just see. Can somebody actually copy this? Nikata, can you try to, hey, I don't even know where your trouble is because I see your code looks fine.
Yeah, but it's giving me error each time I
Can you try to put these quotes again?
Okay.
These quotes sometimes they are not even quotes. They could be something.
Is it okay to paste the code that everyone can see? Oh.
She has posted on the.
I posted the code on the chat.
No, you posted to hosts. Eh?
Yeah, we can see.
When you are posting comment, please change. There are two buttons there. When you post it to host, I am the only one who is seeing. But when you say to, you change to everyone. So don't think that if you post, others will see. So there is a button there to who you are sending it to. So Nifarta, you need to repost. Festus, you need to repost. Adisu, you are also posting to myself.
I just posted it again.
Please post to everyone. Don't post to
I
myself.
have posted it to everyone now.
Okay. Nora, remove the bracket outside. So Nora, can we also, if you see somebody with a mistake you have seen, let's help out. I think Charles, you have a bracket at the end which is not required. You have put, no, not Charles. No, not, yeah, Charles, your command for table is wrong. So you have put a bracket at the end, which is not required. Then somebody here, Marcy. Marcy, you have also put a bracket at the beginning, which is not required. So let me just show you the PowerPoint, what we have done. So if you look at this command, the command is down here, synthetic We put the data, there's no bracket at the beginning. There's no opening bracket at the beginning. The only brackets which are here are a squared brackets. So don't put brackets which are not required. The squared brackets are to put condition of what we want to do. And outside, there is no other bracket. Please don't copy the quotation on my PowerPoint because they are not even quotations. I don't know, it is, if you copy paste things from your, it might mislead you. So Mercy also, before the end of it is not needed, yeah. So Mercy, Dennis has tried to correct you there. Mercy, yeah, thanks. Mercy can now see. Who else was having a problem? Sorry?
Mine.
Okay. Who has a problem? Okay, so we proceed. Please mute. We now proceed. We have been able to make changes to employment variable.
I have a question, briefly. Yes, you mentioned that we put the condition in square brackets, and for the first examples that we had for view, we ended our condition with a comma. So I expected to see something similar with what we are currently doing. Could you
under
just
the view.
give a comment, yes, on when do we end with a comma and when do we just leave it?
So when you are subsetting a data set, when you are subsetting a data set, when you are filtering out a data set, you will be having those commas. Filtering, for example, you want to view the first part of a record, or you want to view a part of the record. That's when we use the comma before the bracket. But when we are making changes to the bracket, when we are making changes to a variable, and R language, once you start typing something, R will already be giving you suggestions on when to put a bracket and when not to put a bracket. When you write the command table and you just type the word, you start typing, you'll see that R is telling you that type, giving you brackets. That means it does not need a square bracket. But when you put a square bracket for quotation, you will be able to see where to put it. But for subsetting or isolating the data, you'll be able to see that comma. But it doesn't happen every time. It is the few times you want to subset the data. But when you run commands, not all the times you'll be able to do that. So just check out for when you are isolating the data or filtering the data, that's when the comma will be required.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I want us to go to slide number 7, where we are now going to transform continuous variable to categorical variable. So I want you to write a hashtag. Converting a continuous variable to categorical variable. For example, we want a continuous variable is a variable that can take a decimal point. So I want us to look at the variable called, sometimes some people may want to ask themselves, so what is this? Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes.
See you.
So because we want to see, I want you to tabulate. Can you run the frequency of age variable? Can you just run and you will see how bad it is? For example, if I use the command table, which is not the right command to use, assume you want to run a variable called age. How do you run it? You just put the variable here, the variable age. And if you use the command table, the output will look very bad. So can you run it? Use table command to run. This is for frequency, for age, because age is a continuous variable. So you'll see how bad it is. And I want you to tell me if you can make sense out of that data. Can you imagine 10,000 records? Who is the youngest person? How old is the youngest?
18 years.
Youngest is 18.
And the oldest?
18 years.
The
87.
other,
87 years.
no, the other is not 87. The other should be 3, 4, 5. Maybe when we sort it out, we will find the oldest.
But it is already, is it sorted already? Not sorted.
No, not sorted, sir.
It is sorted. Or it's not sorted, but yeah, it's a big data set. So is it possible to make sense out of that kind of data? It's not easy.
Not at all. I think it's more better to code it into age groups.
So what will you do with this data if you want to come up with the two groups?
You teach us.
You have to set a cutoff point. You have to decide on a cutoff point.
We can decide on a cutoff point. So I don't know in your countries, what is the cutoff for a youth and an adult? A youth and not a youth. What is the age cutoff of a youth?
For youth, you can start from age 18. From age 18, or you can also use age 21. Both are still usable.
In my country, even 40 years, people say they are youths. So, but some people say somebody who is 35 years, somebody who is 35 years. So let us just create two. Let us just say somebody who is 35 years and below. Let's use 35 years.
Okay.
So let's say 35 years and below is going to be called a what? A youth. We are going to call it youth. And somebody who is put a hashtag and put create a categorical variable. 35 years and below is a youth, and above 35, what do we call it? Someone who is not a youth is called what?
Adult.
Adult.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to just write a hashtag. So we want to create a categorical variable. So we are going to use this variable called age. So we are going to use age, and where age is 35 years and below, we will code it 1. And those who are above 35, we are going to code it 2. We are going to, actually above 35, we can even code it 2 or 0. By the way, who is likely to have depression?
Let's use the 1 and 0.
1 and 0. So 0, who is likely to have depression? The youth or the adults?
Oh.
That is
I think the exposure to different environments will matters. The youth, most likely, the adult also based on some environmental factors like aging process and all of those.
Okay. So I want us to create, let us create two variables. Let us create a variable. So the first thing we want to do, we want to create a new variable, which is not existing, where we don't want to interfere with age. Age is going to be used as our condition, but we want to create a new variable, and we want to call it age category in short, right? So for you to create a new column, which is missing, which is not there, sorry, you write the you write the data set name first, then you hit the $sign. But remember, the new variable is not in the list. So you will just write it, age cat. And the first time you write it, it doesn't have a value. So you can assign it to blank. And in R, blank is NA. So you can create it by hitting the $sign and you write the new variable, but you must assign it to something. You can assign it to blank. Like for blank, when I write NA, it is blank. It is a numeric blank. So the variable will remain there, but it will be blank. So I want you to run that. I want you to run it. Oh. Yeah, when you run it, and when I look at the data set, I want to check that it is. If you open your data set, you'll be able to see that if you go to the global environment and you double click, you'll be able to see if you
Yeah, I just have a small inquiry. When I did it,
can we mute this person? Who is talking? Richard.
I have a question.
Who is speaking? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So when we were changing the employed and unemployed, for my case, it went across all the different the rows and the unemployed and employed, including even the row in the age. So when I was trying to tabulate age, I saw like one person with employed, two with unemployed, and
No, I don't understand. Can you paste what you are talking about on the chat? You said that when you run a table, you could not see the. Can you paste? Somebody saying, Dennis is saying that we should use 18 years. How many agree? Who are in mental health here to guide us? What is the age that is a risk for depression or stress? Can you speak up? Oh, you are all muted. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you, Vincent.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
Can somebody tell me the correct age group that we can categorize for mental health? We are looking at risk factors for mental health, and we have depression and we have stress. we want to look at age. So what is the age at which someone is at risk of depression or at risk of stress? Do we put 18 years or 35?
13 years would be better.
13?
Yes, 18, because most of the time, it comes from the developmental stages. So someone comes with it from an accumulation from the childhood until when it becomes around 18, 20, around the
18
time.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
So we use 18. So I want you to assign. Remember how we were doing the
years to 40, and then the older ones from 40 to 60, and okay, 40 and above.
Okay. So we have different opinions here. So because we have different opinion, for the purpose of the learning, we can put something like maybe, let's say 35 for the purpose of learning, or we can even put 18. So let's put 18 years.
Or can we have 3 groups?
Yes, we can have 3 groups. Which groups do you want?
So maybe we have something less than 18, and then 18 to 39.
No, we don't have everybody. These are adult patients.
Okay.
These are adult patients.
So maybe we should have 18.
For learning, you can use 2 groups or 3 groups. For learning, we can even actually put 2 groups.
Okay.
So just choose, maybe let's just choose something.
I wanted to say maybe 18 to 39, 35, 34, then 35 to what other cutoff was he talking about? Because we have above 65 here. So maybe 35 to 59, then 60 and above.
Those are too many categories. Can we just have maybe 3?
I just mentioned 3 categories right now.
Okay. So let me write them under hashtag here. So you are saying 18 to
34.
18 to 34. We'll call it 1. Then you're saying 35 to
35 to 59. I mean 49, sorry.
49, we'll call it 2.
And then 50 and above.
How do you write 50 and above?
But I realize they are not having the same width. Does that really matter? This is for the clinicians now.
They don't have the same what?
The width band for the ages.
Now that one is for epidemiologists to tell us. We need to read some literature to find out which age categories are likely to be depressed in terms of depression, in terms of stress. Because this is a mental health data, you need to have an idea of how to group it. So for purpose of learning, let us just put something. So 18 to 34, how do we want to call this group? Are they young adults? (18 to 34)?
Yes, we can call it young adult.
Let's call them young adults, and then the other one adults, and then the third group
let me just say young.
Geriatrics.
Okay, young adults. And then 35 to 49?
Adults.
Adults. Everybody's an adult here. Okay.
Okay. Mid-adult.
Mid-adult.
Yeah. If there's anything like that.
Middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, okay.
Mid,
What about
like MID?
MID? Mid-adults. And these ones, at least 50 years.
Older adults. Is there anything like that?
Let's call them
Yeah.
old
Old people.
Or elderly.
Elderly. I know.
Which is unfortunate, but they are at 50. So they are more likely, who is more likely to have depression here?
Let's see what the data says.
Let's say what the data says, yes. So let us now start. So we are going to create a variable called age cut. We are going to assign it blank. And then the next line, we are going to say for age cut. Now you see I've written age cut. Then I put a squared bracket. So we want to put the condition here. And how do you put the condition? We want to say if age is between 18 and less than 35, we want to assign it to 1. By the way, so you see, if I put that squared bracket and I say assign it to 1, are you seeing that? It is the bracket, inside the bracket here is what I want to put a condition. Because I have put the new variable here, and I have run it, it's there. Now I want to put a condition and say, if the age is less than 35, I assign it 1. Is that correct? Then the next line I say if age cut, I want to put an age cut and I want to assign it to 2. And the condition here, can you write the condition now? It is 35 to 49. So we write synthetic. We write equal sign 35 and, how do you write and? Put that and you repeat. Now it is supposed to be less than 50. Less than 50. So if you know maths, you know I've written that. Are you there?
Yes.
So I'm writing this. So we put age cut. Then remember, if you put I want to assign this one to 3. And the squared bracket here, I want to put the condition. The condition now is at least 50 years. So how do I write that? I put where age. Sorry, I needed to put the variable. Don't forget to put age variable. The code is a bit long, but don't forget age. The first one is age cut, but the brackets, inside the bracket, we are writing the age, but outside we are writing age cut. Age cut is the new name we want to assign. So I have actually done it. So I have 4 lines of codes. The first one, I'm assigning the new variable to blank. The second time, I'm putting a condition bracket that anybody less than 35 assign to 1 or equals to 1. The next line, I'm saying at least 35.
Quick question.
Yes.
So on the second line, that is about synthetic about less than 35, and this one again equal or greater or equal to 35. Wouldn't it be having the same cutoff point for the second age category. That is having
This less than means,
yeah.
Less than means you can also write this less than means this is less than 35. So it does not include 35.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to write 34, then you have to say less or equal to 34. But if you just say less than 35, it means any number which is not 35. So 35, anybody 35 starts from the second row.
Okay, well understood.
So can you run all these four? Run one at a time if you are not sure. But I don't know why, but we will see. Maybe it is too long.
You did not put the condition in the third one.
Sorry?
You did not put the condition for the age at the third in the third code.
Okay.
Synthetic depression missing data, $ age is less than 50.
So it was 50 and above.
50 and above, sorry. Greater or equal to 50.
And then if you want to check whether you are correct, you table. Now what do you table? You table the new variable. Tabulate age cut. And I want you to tell me whether how many people are in category 1, how many are in category 2, how many are in category 3. So this whole process in data management, we call it recording. So we have been able to use age and create 3 categories. So if you have done it, just tell me what you have done. How many? Some people are enjoying R here, can see. Please run and just tell me how many. Anybody? Just run the table. Don't worry about that error. I don't know what that error is. If you can see Yes, Sheila Wasonga, that's nice. Mine is not showing the result.
I ran the
Why?
table, but it's not showing this result.
What table?
I ran the, so the table, the table synthetic depression is HCAS. It's not giving me anything. It's giving me an error message.
No, but did you run the other codes up there?
Yes, I did.
Just paste your code there, we see. I see people are doing well on the chat. So,
I just pasted my code now.
yeah, I'm seeing it.
Doc, I also have an error I've pasted in the chat box.
Mm. Now Nefara, I'm seeing your code looks fine. Who else has pasted? Don't paste your error. You paste your script, your program, your code. Sang. So make sure that you run the first code, that synthetic depression, the one which was assigning blank. You must run it
Doc,
first.
but
Yeah.
if I look at Neferta's code in her selection, when she has the major brackets, she doesn't include the variable to select the less than 35 from. She just included the data set, but not the variable.
Yeah, thanks, Felix. Is that Felix?
Also, yeah, also on Neferta's code, you find that in the last bit of it, she doesn't put $ age. She just puts the data set.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Neferta, your colleagues have given you, yeah, I think that's very good. That's how we collaborate here. Anybody with a problem with the code
Thank you,
paste?
guys. I've seen the mistake. Thank you.
Mine, Doc. I've pasted mine.
Paste again. There are so many. Yours is Kiza, Patrick. Now, Kiza, Patrick, you have not put the $ age
Patrick.
at the last, for 50 years, you don't have the variable. You are only putting the data set without a variable. I see, who was that?
Also,
Same case
Kisa
with,
Patrick uses an
Festus.
hashtag instead of a $.
Somebody is using hashtag instead of a $.
Patrick.
That is Patrick.
For the age of over 50, he's also using less than 50 instead of greater than 50. Oh, yeah.
And who is this? Somebody is using, it is not equal, start with the, don't greater or equal to, you put greater than first before, then equal comes. I don't know whether you understand. Put the greater than, then equal follows. Don't say equal and then greater than. I see Irene, it is greater or equal to 35, not equal or greater. So change the symbol. Charles, you have a problem with the symbol. It is less, let the equal sign come after greater than symbol. Charles, the same.
Okay, I'll do it and it works now. Thank you.
Switch the equal and the greater than, so that greater than is first, then equal. That is how you sorted. Irene is sorted. Who is this? Nora. Nora, don't have a problem. You run it, but you go to the next. Of course, Edosa, we will come to those shortcuts. If else statement can be used. but we know we will come back to that. So, you know, we were starting R from scratch. So people are learning in steps. Others who know how to use complicated commands, we will come back to that. So I think we are good to go. I want you now to, can you put a hashtag? I want us to check, I want us to record depression or stress variable. I want us to, no, before we do that, I want us to install another package. Put a hashtag and say installing another package. Installing a package called Table One. There's a nice package that I found out recently. Not recently. I found another package called Table One. This Table One, I found it that it produces a very nice output. Instead of this one called table, this one called Table One, it does very nice things. So I want you to install it. Just call it Table One. I don't know why it's not there. And sometimes, yeah, it's called Table One package. And then you would say library Table One. So can you install that package? It's a nice package that will help you, especially it produces very nice outputs. So you run and load the library, install and load the library. Make sure your internet is working. So please install that package. It's a very good package. So mine is talking about Table One was built under version 4.3.3. Yeah, I will try to update my R. Who has installed it successfully?
I got the same message that is built on the under version 4.3.3. So what does this imply? Does it mean that it won't work?
Maybe your version, your R version could be 4.3.0 or another version. So it just reminding.
My version is actually 4.3.2.
Yeah, so it's just telling you that this package 4.3.3 was built for 4.3. It was not built in 4.3.2. It can work, or sometimes it can fail to work until you update your R.
Okay.
So let us just, of course, there's another package called install packages, something called install. There's another one called install R. You see this package called install R.
Okay.
Is also one meant to update your R. So you can always, sorry.
So once I do that, I could just update my R.
I think if you do that, it should be able to allow you to do some things. That one is just to update R. You can just say hashtag updating R. Not everyone should do this, updating R. Not everyone. Some of us, like me, who is using a lower version. So that is just how to update my version. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But what I want us to do is now, For the variable, we said, I want us to now use this command table1. So just write table1 and I want us to use command table1. So it's always so it's table1, and then we put the wave. Where's the wave? There's a symbol called a wave. I want to try and see if it works well here. Work really. Who was able to install it? I don't think mine is installed. Let me see. So just
I'm doing well.
when you look at the right hand side, you are going to see
Yes.
something.
I have that. Looks beautiful.
Very beautiful, right? And you can see, you can always, there's a place for exporting. So if you click that export, you can save, you can copy the clip, you can copy it and actually put it in your report. Who has seen a nice output there? What is the percentage of people who are elderly?
$35.9.
35.9. Yeah. So you see that output is very good. It is an output that can easily be now a report. Majority of the participants, 45%, are aged. So, but you see, how do we label now? How do we label? No, let me see who has also done it. I want people to say, Mercy has done it. Joanne, several of you have done it. I see. Good. Marilyn. Good. Martin. So yes. Amos, can you paste your command? We see. Did you install the package table1? Amos. Yeah, so
Yes, I installed the package.
What
Let
is
me share my commands.
yeah. Yes, Irene, that's good.
My when I was trying to install the package table1, it gave me the error, the same as yours, the one saying
Yeah,
must
no, that
be
is
an
fine. If it doesn't install, sometimes if it doesn't install from the command, you can come to the directory window here, and you can you can say packages, and then you can just click install, and then you type table 1, and you choose table 1. So you can use the menu here, or the bottom right, under packages, click install, and then under packages, under the packages, you type table 1, and it can actually install for you.
So you made mention of how to copy the table. I missed that.
Okay, how to copy the table? So
Yes,
you just go under plots here. You just there's a button there called export. Export. Are you seeing export? Are you seeing export?
Which of the buttons, please? I'm under viewer right now in that place where I could view my table. Okay,
Yes,
yes,
but
I have seen export. I've seen
click
export. Save as
click
image, copy to clipboard.
click that arrow, and you will see either to save
Yes,
as an
I've seen.
image, or copy, or save as a web page.
Okay, thank you.
You can always copy it and put on your report.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sense.
Nice, eh?
Yes, it's nice.
Now, I want us to do the same activity that we have done here, the one we were doing, creating categorical variable. I want us now to record stress. Recording is the process of checking how stress looks like. So can you record stress variable time 1? So I want you to run the frequency of stress. So how do you run stress? Who can tell us how we can run? We can actually use even this variable called table 1. This command, this, instead of table, you can say table 1. So we can copy this. You can copy this command and change this to $ stress T1. So just checking out T1 looks like. I want you to run stress T1 and tell me what you see. How many people are stressed?
2011.
20%.
20%, 20.1% are stressed. Right?
Yes.
But this is not coded as 1 and 0, right? Remember, if you type the class, if you check the class for this stress variable, let me just check whether it is a character. It is a character. So we can always code it 1 and 0, but that will come later. So what I want us to do, that is table 1. Can you run frequency of depression? So let us just change this hashtag and say running descriptive statistics. So the first type of descriptive statistics is frequencies. So I want you to run frequencies of several variables. Frequencies. Frequency. We call it frequency and percentages. So we are going to use table 1 because it produces a very nice. You can use table, but table doesn't give you percentages. So I want you to run. So you put a hashtag and then you write stress. I want you to run all the 3 stress. There are 3 types of stress. The stress time 1, stress time 2. So copy paste. Change this one to T2 time 2 and then time 3. So what do you see? Time 2. So what percent of people are stressed in time point 2?
17.4.
17.4%.
How many were stressed in time point 3?
17.3%.
Yes, 17.3%.
Yeah. And now let's run depression. Can you tell me frequency of those who are depressed? You can either copy these things and you edit them. If you are smart, you only remove the stress, you put the dollar sign, and you put depression 1, depression 1, depression 2. You'd hit the dollar sign and you put depression time point 2. You just remove stress. So this table 1, I really liked it. I saw the time 3. So let us see how many people are depressed. Time point 1.
16.7%.
Yes, and time point 2.
15.4%.
15.4%.
And time point 3.
14.8%.
14.8.
That is how
14.8%.
Okay. So let me look at this data again. So I have stress, I have depression, and then what else are these? Those are other things. Now, so now I want you to tell me, for example, by the way, can we run frequency of sex? Can you run for sex? Can you run frequency for sex? So you just copy one of this. Just copy one of this and change to sex. Hit the dollar sign and pick sex.
Yeah. So female is 50.4%, while male is 49.5%.
And there are 6 people without
And
gender.
there's missing, yes, 0.1%.
Yeah, we will come back to that. Then did we run age cut?
Yes, I think we did.
Yeah, but yeah, age cut we did. Which other variable is here? Let's see. We have sex, income, oh, not stressed, stressed. Yeah. Now, who can now let's do some cross tabulations. Cross tabulations means we want to compare. For example, how many males were stressed in time point 1? How do we do that? So we want to cross tabulate. So we want to use the same command here, but we are going to do something different. So we are going to say, so we want to put sex and stress. So we are going to say, tabulate this. Then we are going to put a pipe. We're going to put the vertical pipe, and then we are going to put stress. Stress time 1. Let me see whether correct. Okay. I need to put factor. Let me see our code. Can we cross tabulate? So we will write so it's supposed to be a table. So let's write it. This one is going to be so we are going to put here, we are going to write the data. We're going to add the command data equals to synthetic. Yeah, so add the data set name at the end. So yeah, so the reason, so I want you to see the reason we are putting this factor is because sex is a factor. Sex is a categorical variable. So write table 1 and then all this, but put comma and add the table name. Just write data is equal to synthetic data.
It brings an error.
Oh, there's an error.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask regarding the previous, before you added data, because there's a comment that operations are possible only for numeric logical complex types. Could it be because sex and stress time 1 are not coded? Could that be one of the reasons why the first code couldn't work?
So how is sex looking like? Let me see. Sex, no, sex is fine. Sex is a factor. Let me see. Stress 1 data equals to, should work. Error in factor, unused argument. Unused arguments. Factor, let me see here. There's a bracket here.
Does the command recognize data if we've not like introduced it? Like at the end, we've used data equals to the data set we are using.
This command data it recognizes data. So if you say data and you put equal sign, and you see it's listing for your data, it's a recognized command. Excellent. So the only thing I think I've removed a bracket. So just put a bracket here. There's one bracket after sex. And then at the end, just put one, remove the one bracket at the end, just one bracket. You can see my output. So they only put this vertical sign. So there's only one bracket here. And then there's one bracket at the end, but you introduce this data equals to. Just run that and see what I'm getting the correct.
Yeah.
Is it coming through?
Yeah, it came up.
Yeah.
We have 50% of female not stressed, 52.1 are stressed, while 47.8% of male were stressed.
Hmm? Yeah, so we don't know why they are stressed, right?
Yep.
We don't know why they are stressed, but we know that certain percent of these people are stressed. Now, somebody was asking why we are attaching. I want you to repeat the same code, but remove the dataset name. Just write table 1, factor, remove the dataset name so that the code is shorter, but just put the dataset name at the end here so that you have a shorter data coding here. Just remove the dataset.
What are we
name.
removing?
Just put sex. Instead of hitting the $ and saying synthetic missing $ sex, just write sex. And instead of saying synthetic $$ stress, just write stress. And then write the dataset name. What I have written here is now shorter. And try to run it. So I am not repeating using the dataset name. I just put it here at the end. Who has done it?
I've done it.
Are you seeing a table?
Yeah.
A nice
What
table.
you have.
You can see how table 1 package is bringing things. The only thing it is doing, which you need to be sure about, it is the percentages are adding up 100% somehow across the columns. That one we will talk about another, because now for analysis, we may need to decide what is the risk factor. For example, how many people are stressed? 52%. So we have 52% and we have 47%. So that command can also help you for cross stabilization. Can you cross-tabulate age cut and stress? So this hashtag just says sex versus stress. I want you to cross-tabulate sex, cross-tabulate sex versus, not sex, age cut versus stress. I want you to cross-tabulate. Now use the shorter one. So the only thing I want you to change now, instead of sex, call it age cut. Now you will even see that R is giving you the variable without the $sign. So cross-tabulate sex and stress 1. And are you seeing a table?
Yep.
Very good. Yeah. Although we need to label age cut. Can you cross-tabulate employment? Cross-tabulate employment versus stress. I want somebody to do it and tell me what you get so I can really copy. Please save your script before things go wrong.
Which of the employment? Is it employment 1?
Time 1, employment time 1.
6.7% of the employed are stressed. Wow.
Why are they stressed?
Maybe because of their work. Stress at work.
I don't know why mine is misbehaving. It's employed. Oh, it's a small, They are employed because
maybe the nature of their work is stressful.
stressing them.
Mm-hmm.
Which variable again? What are the which other risk factors here? So we have income. Now income. We have income is a categorical variable. Now I want us to do something with this MH score T1. Can you tabulate that thing? Can we table mental health score? Mental health score.
And what?
Tabulate, it's called MH score T1, right? This one is this one MH score T1 was is a scale. Some of you who do mental health, this is a scale. I don't know whether they call it PHQ scale. So it has got like several questions which are being rated to establish something. So it is also something that tells you who is, I don't know, who knows about the score. It's called a depression, could be a depression score or a stress score. But I think from number, I don't know whether 20 and above is bad. Is it?
So I think we may need to categorize it.
I was already seeing it was categorized because I can see depressed. You see under depression here, anybody who is below 20 is depressed, not depressed. Someone with 20 and above is not depressed.
Okay, so we are using depression instead. Depression.
I think I'm seeing, that's just what I'm seeing. But I don't know whether it is for depression or it's for stress.
For depression.
For depression, huh?
Yeah.
So it's not a variable we can, we could easily categorize it if we want to two groups. Now, what else can we categorize? Can we categorize income? No, let's leave income. So now what I want us to do is, I want us to put this table compressed. I want a one table. You see, anytime you write a new variable, their previous one disappears. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want us to write this thing, but we combine everything. So how are we going to
We can
combine?
have a one table.
Yeah, one table instead of separate. So I want us to organize this. So combined table. Let's have a combined table. So we are going to start with age cut. I don't know whether age cut. My age cut sometimes doesn't come. I don't know why. Age cut. Of course, I'll just type age cut. Make sure this wave is there. But now for age cut, after age cut, we put a plus. No, after we put a plus, plus sex. Of course, we can write and we write sex factor. That factor of sex. Then we put another plus. We write factor of employment. Is it employment underscore T1? So this plus here is to combine the variables. Somebody is having a question. Can you help somebody there? Nora? Or somebody has given us patient health questionnaire, PQ, HQ. So yeah, we will see how to categorize it. But I want you to add plus. If it is a categorical variable, you add plus. But for income, I want you to put income without the word factor. Just write income. How is it? It is income underscore T1. We are only dealing with the income T1 underscore T1. Yeah, Nora, you need to check whether you install the package T1, the table 1. So to combine the table, we just write plus. So you put the variable in bracket. If it is a categorical variable, I have not been following, nobody is responding. Obi, Obi, what's the problem? Table.
So for income, we don't write factor.
So
We just
can
write
we see?
income T1.
Sorry?
For income, so we just write income T1. We don't write it
Yeah,
as
just
factor.
write income because it is not a factor. It's not. It's an continuous variable. It's going to generate the mean.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And you will get a very beautiful output.
You want us to run it?
Yes. I want you to run it.
Wow.
And that is the most beautiful picture. So R can actually produce for you a report. Some of you who are writing manuscripts, there are things that we can write and you can actually get a table and you write your manuscript, you add your results, table 1, table 2, and there's so many packages to do that. Are you seeing this nice table, which you can, I want you to click, copy to clipboard, and you can open a Word document and you paste there. Can you paste it on because it will not be editable there. You say copy plot. You click play plot and then you paste. So it can go into your PowerPoint, it can go to your report. So that is just how it is.
So isn't there a way we can make it editable? Or
We
asking a
can
question.
put it. Yeah, we can put it. We will look at it if you can put it as a Word document or as a
It would be
PDF.
nice if it can be editable, actually.
But you can edit with a code, as if it is, if like these labels, we can edit it with the labels. All this, like instead of factor 1, we can relabel this, everything, yeah.
Hello, Doc. Kindly share that last step. I've been somehow struggling with my table 1, but it just came up right now, so I want to see that one.
I share what they do, my script.
Yeah, that one now. Let me.
I share where on chat.
No. I just wanted to see it so that I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, play that way for some few seconds, sorry.
I won't remove it. Any questions?
So Doc, if we are to rename all these ones, the age category that comes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I want us
the
to.
name we have assigned.
Yes, I want us to label the name.
Okay.
I want us to label them. I want us to label. So for age cut, I wanted us to label. So labeling age cut.
Okay, I said we shall look from now on.
Sorry?
I think sometime.
Sometimes that means 45 percent really percent.
Says I'm around.
So I want us to, we are supposed to take a break.
Yes. we
You're
need
supposed to take a break
Okay.
for,
Lunch.
you want a break for how many minutes?
20.
Sorry?
I think
We,
15
we
is
come back.
We're going for
Can
a
we
break.
take at least 20 minutes?
Okay, we
I'm
come
going
back
to go
at
now.
20 minutes. You come back at what time? At Kenya, in Kenya, it is 3:35. I don't know where you are, but it is, we can come back in 20 minutes. So here it will be 15:55.
15 minutes.
5
So
minutes,
yeah, it will be 13:55.
13:55, where you
Yeah,
are, right?
for us in Nigeria, yes.
Nice. I hope Nigeria is
Let me call
fine.
that. We have 20 minutes break. So if
we are
we go
good.
now, I can save for some minutes. Those 20
Yes,
minutes.
so it is a break time. Please take coffee, take a walk, relax, and post your questions. We have people here who can actually respond. I'm also here.
Hey, I'm enjoying today's session.
So this output is good. You can actually
Eric,
yeah.
I'll come we go to Dr. Flavia's office.
Okay. Yeah, please
Syria,
mute. Martin,
please call me when they are done.
Martin. Okay. So guys, it's 20 minutes break and we come back. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, yes. But I have a problem here.
Hello, Vincent. Vincent, before you go. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Vincent.
Yes, you are back.
Okay, bye. Hello. Hello, guys.
Yes, Doc.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Have you rested?
Yes, somehow.
Somehow. Yeah, we should learn this so that and you just realize that we are trying to go slowly because R is not like Stata. R is not like these other softwares. So these other softwares, you can just click this and click that and you are done. But R is something that we have to be very consistent. But you will love R at the end of the day. And when you go online and you're stuck, you can easily. So I wanted us to learn how to label variables. One of the variables here we want to label, I want us to label age cut. Maybe you can put can we run, so table, so age cut. So let's go back to where we wrote what age cut is. We had said that age cut one was what?
One was between below 35 years.
Young adults.
Young adults. So I want to show you how we can label the variables. So once we label one, you can always do the rest. And labeling is just a way of I don't know why this thing is. So when you want to label, you start with the variable you want to label. So we are going to say age cut. Sometimes I write the variable, but you write the variable you want to label. So for those of you who want look at slide number 7. Look at slide number 7. We are going to label. So you just put the variable and then you write equals to factor. So we say equals to factor. And then we put a variable name. Variable name. Sometimes if you write it without init can accept, sometimes it's, you put the word levels. and it is 1, 2, 3. So levels are the how it is coded. It's coded 1, 2, 3. But you have to put a container. So it's labeled as 1, 2, 3, and then you can now put the labels. So labels. So labels are the how the numbers you have given in there. So age cut is given 1, 2, 3. That's called levels. But the labels are what you want to call them. So you put it in a container. So 1, you put it in quotes, what you want to call it. You can say young. And then the next group, I can call it middle or mid adults. And then the last group, I can call it elderly. So you put those two. So do it like that. It might run. So the age cut, it has to, we have to put the data set name. Just not, is that sometimes it just doesn't want to. So write it like that. Just put the variable here, age cut, and then write equals to factor, just to declare that the variable is categorized. And then put the variable here, the variable we want to put labels for. And then put labels, put in a container, call it 1, 2, 3. This container here is just something that is going to be used to label. And then what we want to call them, we put it on the right. There's 2 brackets at the end. So try to run that. And then try to run now run the table. Now you can run table 1. Just do that and you'll see a very, very beautiful output there. Just write the variable is here. Then you write factor just to declare that the age category is a factor. It's not a numeric. It's not a continuous variable. You put labels in a container and you declare that it is labeled as 1. It's coded 1, 2, 3. These are called codes. And then this is how you want to label them. You want to call them 1, you want to call young, 2, you want to call mid adults, 3, you want to call elderly. Then you run. Then you now tabulate. And if you look at the output now, it will look more informative. And even if you go back now and run the previous combined table here, you will see a different label for age. Anybody who has done it, please add me to the WhatsApp group. Joel can add you. Somebody wants to be added to WhatsApp group. Who has done it? Who has run? Who has labeled and run successfully?
Yeah, it is a very nice table.
Very nice table. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
nice.
it has replaced with the new labels, young adults, mid
With
and
the what? With the
age cut.
Yeah, it has given it a label.
Yes.
Anybody else? So I want us to
Dr. Please try to move forward. I want to see something.
I move forward.
Like the cursor.
Where is the cursor?
Not really this.
You
I
want to
think she
move?
wants you to scroll
Yeah,
so
you
that she
scroll
can see
forward so that I see
the code.
She wants to see the complete code.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's next time we will, if you want, we can write a short name for this data set. Do you want us to call it something like depression? You want a shorter name for the data set because it's quite long. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. It will be great.
How many people want us to or you'll get confused? Because it's just giving it a shorter name. Yes, I see. We can actually call it depression, but we have another one called depression. Or do we call it depression and clean? Or just, you want to call it depression? Can somebody give us a short name for this missing data? We can rename
Maybe you
it.
can call it depression dataset.
Even the word dataset is too long. Maybe we just call it depression.
Depression depth missing.
Depression missing.
EP missing.
Yeah, sorry?
DEP underscore missing.
DP underscore missing.
Yeah, DEP.
DEP, okay. So let us say hashtag creating or we can actually create another data set and just say creating a data set with short name. So we can actually create another, so we can call it depression, just say DEP underscore missing. And then you assign it to this one. This is how to create, to copy paste. You're just assigning this to this. So, and when you do that, you will see a new data set on the global environment. If you run this, that means you are creating another, it's just the same data, but now with another one with a shorter name. Sorry. Should be, we need to assign. We need to assign here. We add it here. Who has done it? You can see a new data set called DEP missing. It is the same data set with the 10,000 variables. Who has done it? Yeah. Excellent.
I've done it, Doc, but I had an error in the previous.
I was telling you that something is missing, right? What error? Hello? What
Yes.
error was that? You got an error?
Yeah, I've just pasted the code that I used, but I wasn't able to run it.
Factor. Synthetic data, edge cut factor. Because it look, what error were you getting? Because I just see your command looks fine. Anybody who has seen an error there, you can check. Now, I want us to label stress. When we tap stress, can you just table stress? Stress 1. I want you to tabulate stress 1 just for the purpose of checking how it is labeled. Now, I want us to record stress as 1 if stressed and 0 if not stressed. I want us to code now. When somebody is stressed, I want us to code it 1. When somebody is not stressed, I want us to code it 0. Remember how we were creating new variables, not new, how we were assigning. Remember how we created a categorical variable for age cut? Now I want us to do the same here. So how do we do it? Anybody who is stressed, we want to call it 1. Anybody who is not stressed, we want to call it. So we must create a new variable, because the sex we have here is a string variable. So we need another variable, which is I want us to do that. So how do we who knows how to create a new variable? How do we create a new variable in R to have a new column?
I think we will write the data set, and we hit the $sign. Then we write the name that we want to assign. Then we say is equal to NA. I don't know whether I'm right.
Yes. So we can say this is the data set name. So how do we call it?
It is depth missing.
Yeah, so let's depth missing stress. We can call it stress 1 number. We can call it stress 1 number so that it is a different number. And then what do we do? What do we assign it to? The first time you run it, what do you assign it to?
NA.
So you assign it to NA, capital. Then how do we assign now? If it is stressed, we want to assign 1. So how do we do it? What do we write? Remember how we did the age categories? Yes? So you run this. Then that is the variable that you want to assign condition. So who can tell us the condition? Of course, we want to assign it 1 if you are stressed. And then we want to assign this one 0 if you are not stressed. But who can tell us the condition for the first one? What do we write?
I can try.
Kindly unmute me. Okay, let me see. Let me unmute Juliet. I don't see Juliet. Okay. Juliet, yes. Juliet.
Yes, thank you.
What did you want to say?
I wanted to maybe try. So the command might be, we can say the variable we want, that is it will be your deep missing stress T1 numeric.
Condition, the condition.
The condition, yes, will be now the stress T1.
Okay.
Then we select the one we want to give it 1.
Which one we want to give 1?
The stressed.
Do we put quotes?
Yes.
Why? Why can't we
I
just
think
write stress without quotes?
it's categorical. I don't know. Yes.
Because it's a character.
Can tell us the next row. If you want to speak, I can unmute you. Who can say in the next one?
Okay, the second condition, it's deep underscore missing, then we attach the stress underscore T1, then we assign not stressed, put it in double quotation.
Good. So we have 1
and 0.
And who can tell me now, how do we label? How we want to label this one. We want to label. We want to label stress numeric. We want to label. How do we label now so that one is the way we did the edge cut? How do we label? Who can tell us? So that we run it once. Who wants to talk? Who is talking?
Can try.
Yes.
Write DP underscore missing. You attach stress underscore 1 underscore new. Then as factor, you equal sign factor. Then in bracket, we write the variable, which is stress underscore 1 underscore new.
The variable we want to stress.
Yes. Then comma, levels is equal to C into 1 concatenate into 1 and 0. Then comma, labels.
I hope you don't confuse label with labels.
Yes.
How do you
C.
want to put it? One is?
Should write C.
Oh yeah, C.
Into a container, yeah, C into 1 to be stressed, that is, you quote stressed, then 0 will be not stressed, not underscore stressed.
The way you like it, you want us to put underscore. Stress.
Yes.
Okay. Then how do we confirm? We write table 1.
Table 1.
Then
the variable.
Table 1, you know, if you want to write table 1, you use the wave first, then you write factor.
Factor, okay.
Then you write the variable that you want to run the frequency, which is stress
Underscore T1 underscore new.
So you see, this one is going to label it, but we are creating it up here. So can you run all these things? And if you see blue color, then you're good. Not blue color, but if you see an output here, which is stress num, then you are good to go. Anybody who has done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please,
Yes,
can you
I've
keep
done it.
some of us are still writing the code.
You are copying mine. Yeah, you can write. See how I've written it. R is very enjoyable. You know, once you see one code that is running well, you can copy paste and you just edit. One thing I encourage you to do, have more green colors, more comments, more hashtags in your do files. I explain everything. Write your own notes with a hashtag, and you will keep on remembering what you've done. And if you want to do something and you don't know the code, you go online and just go to Google and say, I want to run a regression. How do I do it? So let everybody do that.
Doc, I'm still getting an error. Remember the first one, I wasn't able to run. This one also, I'm still getting an error, but I've seen,
Okay.
yeah. Can you kindly check my code?
Where your code? You are who? Your name?
I've just, there.
Okay. Error in factor, depress. No, put your code. I'm just seeing an error message. Just put the code you wrote.
There.
So the error table 1. So remove the Irene, remove the bracket at the end of, after the bracket, put only one bracket at the end. No, this is Mercy. Stressed. Yeah, yes, missing. Somebody is saying our results are different. Depending on how you coded my stress is 20%, 20.1. So if you don't get 20.1%, then there's a challenge. So let me see who else. Irene. Factor. Dependent missing number. So Irene.
Yes, Doc.
The spelling for levels is wrong. Eh? You've written LAVELS.
Depth missing, strict stress.
Did you see?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah, the spelling is, you have a spelling error under levels. Who has been able to label done? Enoch is done. Okay. Now, so now that you have done, mine is giving me the value 0 and 1 instead of the labels. Then it has not labeled Amos. Amos, check your code or paste it on the chart we see. In the table 1. Amos, your code looks fine. Maybe I hear from Amos. Let me unmute Amos.
I'm unmuted, Doc.
Oh,
here.
What is the issue?
I don't know. I just ran it. I thought I ran it. Let me share the table 1 code, the one I ran. Maybe that could be the problem. I think
Can
everything
it
is
be
just
the way you've written the not stressed? The not
without
stressed
the
maybe.
underscore.
Yes.
No, not stress is a label, so it can have a space.
Okay.
So the stress num factor. What error are you getting, Amos?
No, it's not an error, but it is giving me the output. But instead of the labels stressed and not stressed, it is giving me 1 and 0.
So can you run the two commands at this? First run the one for labeling, and then you run table 1 so that you see how it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it is still giving the same output.
Then you are labeling variable, it's not working. You have
Maybe
run
let
I don't know.
Let me go back. Yeah, let me check back.
Okay. Anybody who got it right, what percent of people are stressed?
$20.1.
20.1. Good. So we want to kind of got it correct. $20.1. So now you can actually now do you remember the combined table? The code that combined your table, you can now copy it and now use the
Doc,
yeah.
I have a problem. Can you have a look at my table I've just posted? I have stressed and missing and not stressed. I don't know, but I just ran the code that was right.
This is who? Irene.
Yes, please.
But you have what you have done, your stress is correct, but the second line of code is not running, the one that is assigning 0. I think you have a spelling. Let me see your code. Your code, the second row where you are assigning 0 is not running. Irene, I can't see you. So Irene, show the code where you are assigning need to 1, where you said assign it to 0 and assign it to 1. Where were you assigning? That's where the problem. Can you post where you generated the variable and how you assign it to 1 and where you assign it to 0? So not stressed. Not stressed.
I've seen Doc. Under not stressed, instead of putting 0, I wrote 2. So in that case, should I assign it again and say 0?
Yeah, you put 0. If you had put 2, then in your labels you also said 2. You don't say
Okay.
1 0. So for you, you can say 1 2 or change. Make sure they are consistent.
I was also able to solve mine, Doc. I realized I had created 2 stretch variables. That is one with single S and another one with double S. So I was using 2 different ones.
It's good that you are
Doc, for me, I'm completely lost here. Mine is returning an error message saying depth missing, not found.
Sorry? Can you paste
Mine
your
was returning.
can you paste your code on the chat?
Okay, let me do that right here.
And please, you remind me your name because when I'm checking, there are so many of you here.
Okay. Oops. Have you seen it?
Hmm?
That's from Nifarta.
Sorry?
I just posted my code.
Let me see.
So when I ran the first code, it's telling me that depth missing, not found.
Depth missing, not found.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a code we wrote. We wrote depth underscore missing, then we assign it to the old variable, the one which was called synthetic data missing. So you
Please,
run that variable.
maybe I missed out on that. Can you
Do you see
can
this?
you go
Do you see
which
this
one?
one? Let
Which
me
one?
show you. There's one here where we renamed the table.
Where is it? Maybe that's the step I need because I came back late from the break.
Okay. But let me show you what we write. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I am seeing your screen.
We wrote this, we wrote depth, then we assigned to the old variable.
Oh.
This is what we wrote. So you need to run because you don't have this, you don't have the data. And if you look
Okay,
at
so
your global environment, you may not see that data.
Let me write it.
Yeah.
Doc, I've just corrected it and it's still bringing me stressed and missing.
Where is?
I've just posted.
Irene,
Yes.
you can see your second code is not right. Look at what you have written under less. Look at what you have written under 0.
Okay.
You have not assigned. You have just said less than 0.
Okay.
You see the symbol for assigning, or you can say equal to 0 instead of less than 0. The second row, where you are saying not stressed. So the first one is correct. You are saying assigned to 1, but the second one you are saying less than 0 instead of equals to 0 or assigned to 0. Can you see? Irene?
Yes, Doc, I've seen. I'm working on it.
Okay. It has got missing value, so this won't run. But what we can with a few, we can maybe do with a few minutes we have. What can we do? Do we do a bit of statistics, or we want a bit of graphs as we wind up? We can do chi-square test if you want. We can do mean, medians. Who has any preference of what you want to know? Because tomorrow we will wind up with some regression. Do you want us to do some statistics?
So, sir, I'm still having an issue with this depth missing not found. Even after writing depth missing, after assigning depth missing to synthetic depression data.
So this is Ekiru.
This is NIPATA.
NIPATA. NIPATA, where is your code? Where are you writing? Where are you creating? Do you see a new, in your global environment, NIPATA, are you seeing two data sets?
There is a depth missing that has 10,000 observation and 24 variables in my environment.
Okay. So
when I ran the depth missing equals to NA, it ran. But when I'm assigning it to 1 and 0, it didn't run. It was telling me that depth missing not found. So I'm posting my code again.
Okay.
So you can have access to it.
Somebody is telling you that you have someone is correcting you. Dennis is saying you have a bracket at the end. That
I have.
No, sorry,
that's for Ekiru. That's for Ekiru, not for her. Yeah.
Oh, that's Ekiru. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I just posted my code now. That's NA. You can see that. So the first two ran. The last two didn't. Where I was assigning 1 and 0.
Have you Can you run the one where you are assigning 1?
Yes, so that's the one that didn't. That's the one I was getting error message that says deep missing, not found.
So can you just remove the 2 and rewrite it afresh?
No, you are using triple S instead of a double S because there is no data set deep missing. That's triple S, not instead of a double S.
Okay, the typographical error. Wow.
So you are creating your own data set. So yeah,
Doc, have a look at mine. I'm still getting an error.
It ran very well now. Thank you so much.
Let us now help Irene because we have sorted the. So Irene, can you post yours? You are saying, Irene, depth missing.
We can't see Irene's code actually. I don't know if you're the only one who can.
I've just posted. So the one assigned 1 is running.
Irene.
Yes.
You are posting to me only. You are not posting to everyone.
Yeah, because we can't see the code.
Yeah, she's posting to hosts and panelists. So you need to send to everyone.
Okay, there.
So what message are you getting? Error. Irene, what message?
The error I'm getting after. Okay, no, I'm not getting an error. I'm able to run, but now my table still brings me stress and missing.
Because that's not stressed. Is it the correct spelling? Does it have an underscore? Does it have an underscore like the thing you are calling not stressed? Have you copied the right? spelling.
It should
Because
have a-
they're not stressed the way it was in the file, in the data. Let me see. Because you have to have the correct. It is not stressed, it's underscore. Yeah. It's not underscore stressed.
Okay.
Also, where on Irene's code, when you are assigning to 0, you are assigning it to stress T1 instead of stress T1 num. You are missing something at the end of when you are assigning to 0. It's the num part you are missing. You're just assigning it to stress T1 and you're missing the final part of, you see when you're assigning it to the first one.
What are you saying? She's assigning what? Depth missing, stress, num. Yeah, so can you just check it's not it's stressed underscore stressed and try again. So Benjamin, I think, can somebody add Benjamin to the WhatsApp?
Steve Ekiru is also missing a bracket at the end of it, at the end of the his code.
Steve Ekiru?
Yeah, there should be two brackets at the end. He has one.
Yes, Ekiru, you are being assisted by your colleague here. Please add a bracket at the end. Sorted. Very good. Irene is happy. Today, you guys have less problems. Please make sure you save, because tomorrow now we will do statistics. We are going to try and do chi-square test, t-test, linear regression, maybe logistic. What else do you want to know?
Hi, Daktari, how about before we leave the missing data?
Sorry?
Because I saw some NS, do we have to leave that one, or we don't have to consider that before we do the regressions? Do we also have to consider the missingness of the data?
Yeah, no, yeah. So we have, we have another session where we should be sorting out the data.
Okay,
There are so
okay.
many, we can actually start tomorrow with the duplicates. We have issues. So we have many things. We have issues of how do we update missing data? But you see this code we are writing here, it can transform. You can even say, you can say filter where this is missing, you assign it to something. But we can do that tomorrow. We can fill in the missing values. We can check duplicates. And let me unmute. Somebody wants unmuted. Who wants to be unmuted? Let me see. Okari, Mary. Mary, where's Mary Okari? Mary.
We have Irene and Adisu.
Mary, you are unmuted. Who else want to be unmuted? We are finishing.
I have a question, Doc.
Yes.
When we are dealing with the inconsistency, we just train one variable. That was, I think, the employment. So just an inquiry, is there a way we can get to do random variables, or when we are dealing with inconsistency, you do one by one? When you're checking on the inconsistency of the variables?
You know, when you run this thing without a variable, then the inconsistency is better. You can run as several of them together, but it is wise to run if you have a series of variables that you want to run. Like say you want to check several variables with missing. You need to know which variables you want to run. And it is possible to run frequency of several variables. Or you can even run the entire data set, but it can be very big. It can be a very big data set that has all the variables. If you run it without specifying a variable, it will actually generate everything.
Okay.
So tomorrow we are going to check how to handle missing variables, how we can check duplicates, how we can merge data sets. Tomorrow we are going to use something called GTools, and then we are going to use a ggplot, which is another package for plotting graphs. Yeah, if we don't get another day to complete this, there are so many interesting things I could show you. I'm told that tomorrow we have to finish because Friday is a holiday. But there's many, many things, even talking about some statistics, like what does this mean? What does this mean? We can easily do it. And tomorrow we're going to do it. So what I would advise you, if you are, when you have this PowerPoint, please practice on your own. And when you go to the folders, if you want to know the right code, I have put the code there in the day 4. So for day 4, there is, was it day 4 really? Yeah. Day 4, under data sets, there was this thing called tutorials, where if you open it, you will be able to see some of these codes. But you can use it only as a reference in case you're having problems with some code. But the PowerPoint I've given you has everything, and I hope, do you find the PowerPoint easy to follow? Hello?
Yes, Okari?
Yes, Doc, for me, I think it is easy to follow. It's only when it throws an error, then one doesn't know how to correct the errors.
Yeah.
So you keep checking, eyeballing to ensure that you have captured the code very well.
Okay.
Like it happened today.
Yeah, that's fine, and that's part of learning. You know, for you to do this thing within the second day is amazing. It's a very big success, because R, usually when I started learning R, it took me over a month to even understand what's going on. I found it very difficult to learn R myself because it was so difficult. I was just seeing stars. But I can tell you what we have done yesterday and today. We are trying to use the simplest language here. And of course, yeah, so some of you, so tomorrow we are going to continue from there. And I'm happy if there is final comments. Please save your work. Please save your work.
So when you say we should save our work, what you mean is we should click the save button?
Yes, you save the button. You can click the save button. What you need to save is actually the script, because that is your main document. That script you wrote, when you save it, and you can always remember where it is, even if you don't have the data there. But when you
we can go to File, Save As.
Yes, you can go to File, Save. Yeah, when you are on the R script, you can save as.
Okay.
Yes, guys.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you very much, Vincent, and all of you for joining. I think it was great. We will definitely share the recording. I see some people commenting that they joined late, and you can catch up from the parts that you missed. Over to you, Vincent, if you have something to say.
I see Enoch and Adisu, Mary Fine, Irene, maybe their hands are up.
And even mine as well.
Yes, Nifar.
Just to catch up with where I missed, because I came back like 3 minutes late and you guys had done one aspect that had to do with I think labeling, no, that had to do with renaming. No, labeling age cards. I missed that. So,
You just reach out to me. I will help you.
okay, sir.
Yeah, just
how do I reach out to you now? I don't have your number.
I shared my number yesterday.
Huh?
Let me put it here.
Oh, okay. I have it. It's true. Sorry about that, please.
Okay, I see Adisu. Hand is up.
Okay, thank you, Dr. I found this training very interesting. I'm from Ethiopia, from Bulaga University. So I found the training very nice, and something I've faced challenge during this training is just my R Studio was not showing me the output, even though the commands are correct. So what was the reason for that? Thank you.
Are you using Windows, or you're using Apple's computer, or you're using
Yes, I'm
Windows?
using a computer. Just sometimes it shows under the viewer, but most of the cases, for example, when we were doing the combined table, I need that table to view, observe it, but it was not visible for me. That was my problem.
Okay, you can also reach out.
Okay.
I've shared my number there again.
Yeah.
Always happy to support you until you get this right. So don't feel constrained that you cannot reach out. When I can create little time, and I want you guys to be very good with R, because this is the future.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Because you may not afford to buy those expensive softwares. Although we can give you Stata, we can give you SAS, but they are expensive softwares. This is the future. Amos, I see your hand.